Thanks, Mohammed. Yeah, you should join, man. Hope to see you inside there. What a question. Welcome here. Thanks for joining. So today we're looking at ultrafast Kimi K2.7, Hermes asynchronous agents, subagents, and then Chord Fable 5 versus Kilo. Kilo Code just released an interesting way to get Fable 5 intelligence. We'll come on that today. So that's what we're building. Thanks so much, man. I appreciate that. Just looking at this now, that's pretty interesting. I'm going to see what we can do with that. Is this a joke or is it actually? It looks like a joke when I check it on X. Do you have a link? I'll be interested to see it. Tokyo Nick, good to see you here. Yeah, I would agree. I mean, the way that I look at it is like, if you have limited time, obviously you can't just focus on every update that comes out, right? There's just literally, must be 10 or 15 different updates that come out daily. So the way that I look at it is just, how can you focus on one thing a week? And it doesn't even need to be what just came out. It can be, what's the most important thing to automate? Because the models will come and go, and the updates will come and go, but the systems you build will stay. So that's the way that I look at it. It's like, okay, what's one thing you could automate this week? And then how can you build on top of that and keep the momentum up each week? And that way you never feel overwhelmed. You just stay focused. Thanks, glad to help. There we go. The benchmarks are off the charts. And you got the CLI. It's the Chuck Norris of AI models. Thank you. So I use Suno. So I just type in what I want to create on Suno Music, and then from there it just creates it. So it's pretty nice. We've already got a music agent inside here using the same system. You can see it right here. So it's inside the agent OS already. And then you switch between versions, type in what you want, and build it in the same style. Look at that, it's off the charts. Le Chapon Fat. The thing is, people are going to see that and genuinely think it's real, right? Why are you sorry, man? Don't worry, he's funny. What's up, Randall? Good to see you. So today we're building out, well, we got several projects on. So number one is setting up ultrafast Kimi K2.7 inside the agent OS. Just build it out. Hermes asynchronous subagents, new update that just came out from them. Then also Kilo Code came out with a new system for getting like Fable 5 level outputs. Just testing out to see what we get. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate that. For me, I would recommend just use if you want to, keep the costs down, just use cheaper models, free APIs. I think that's better than making it more complicated with subagents. That's one thing I'd recommend. Wow, that is brutal. But at least he apologized. But still. Thanks very much, Timmy. Appreciate that. That's good to hear. Honestly, I've never set up a DGX, so I don't know. But it sounds fun. saw some stuff about this, but I've not seen anything confirmed. It just looked like rumors or someone posting a tweet but not actually showing proof of it. Thanks, yeah. I agree. I think it's perfect music for building to. So we're getting loads of questions about the agent operating system that we've built inside the AI Profit Boarding community. I thought I'd answer them today because probably if they have questions, you have questions too. And so we're going to run through some of the top ones today and talk through exactly how we use our agent operating system to basically automate anything and also to have multiple agents working together, all from one single shared memory and one single shared system that works together. And this is the first question that we've got here from Conscience. So Conscience is saying, how are you running multiple agents inside the agent operating system? So is it designed to support multiple different agents at once? How are you using multiple agents in practice? Have you successfully run several agents at once? Are there settings and modifications that you can do? And how do you personally define what a multiple agent is? So a lot of questions in one there. Let's run through them. So usually if I've got separate agents, it depends what we're doing, but if I want to run like multiple sub agents working together as a team, then the way that I do that is I have the Kanban board with Hermes agent, and then I can build multiple tasks together, and I can just plug in one prompt and then it goes off and does it, right? So we can plug in one prompt here, it will assign it to my different agent profiles with Hermes. So we've got like GLM Judge, GLM SEO, GLM Researcher, GLM Writer, etc. And then they can go off and just build whatever we want. And so that's pretty powerful because it can like write multiple articles or it can create videos together as a team in one single place. Now, each agent tagged inside the agent OS has its own independent process, right? So for example, you've got Claude, and then you've got Hermes, you've got Grok, Kimi, all running in their own backend sessions, so they genuinely run side by side. Switching tabs doesn't stop the others. The work like keeps going in the background. The UI just shows the tab that you're looking at. So if an agent like stops when you switch, that's usually an older build or something like that. But yeah, you can really have like multiple parallel agents working. And again, Hermes have just shipped a new feature called asynchronous sub-agents. And so basically what this means is they have a new delegate tool that fans out workers in the background and no longer blocks what you're doing inside the chat as well. And so you can have like one lead agent fanning out multiple different jobs to multiple agents at a time as well. So that's another way to use it. But this is the way that I look at it. Next question, AI video generation, right? So RK is asking about this and basically like how to generate videos with AI in a way that doesn't, take up too much resources, and how to organize it, how to get it all set up together, etc. And what's like the best route for this. So here's the way that I look at it. If you want something that's kind of like less resource intensive, then you can use something like Grok or Minimax. So for example, we have this studio here. We can generate videos and images and voice notes using Grok or Minimax and we can switch between them inside the tab here. So that's a good option. And then you can also generate hyperframes as well, right? And I know you've put there that hyperframe seems expensive, but it's a free open source skill. So you can give your agents access to hyperframes and then it can go off and create videos for you. So if we have a look here, for example, this is a section we've created inside the agent operating system just for videos. And you can see that it can create like videos, pretty nice animations, like as you can see here. And it can also, for example, create AI avatar videos if you plug that into HeyGen as well. But if you just want like, videos without an avatar, then you can actually do it for free with your AI agents. So you got two options there, hyperframes, or you can use the studio with Minimax or Grok and Hermes. And if you're already subscribed to Twitter, actually, then you're not paying anything extra because you get Grok access already. And you get Grok build access too. So this is pretty interesting. John was posting about basically finding a replacement to Perplexity Computer, which is Hermes Agent. Basically, like how to have your own Hermes agent that's a replacement for Perplexity Computer. So this is really cool. So you can use Hermes just in the same way, right? It can basically run on a machine. It can do stuff locally. It can work kind of like Perplexity's computer, which is a cloud-based computer, but you can have Hermes agent running in the background. Another one that we quite like is Google Managed Agents API, because that gives you access to cloud API agents too. And so what you can do is you can have like a crew of managed agents using the managed agents API from Google. And then it has its own sandbox, access to live web, etc. It can run code, it can finish files in the cloud, and that's pretty cool too. So that's another option. You can see the details right here, but basically you can plug in a managed agents API into your system and then go from there. The way that we used it previously was with anti-gravity. So basically, we plugged in the managed agents API from Gemini inside anti-gravity, and then that could do stuff in the cloud for us. So if we check out the managed agents workspace here, you can see some of the stuff that it created, some of the research, etc. And it did this all in the cloud, which is pretty crazy. So like, if you wanted to have an agent, but you don't want to set up a VPS, that's a potential alternative as well. And it's pretty simple and easy. And then you can still plug it into the agent operating system because you have Google managed agents running through anti-gravity. By the way, if you want me to answer your questions like this, feel free to join the AI Profit Boardroom. Link in the comments description. And what I do daily is just answer the latest questions, create a video tutorial like this, and just run through exactly how to implement each part of this. So we got a question from Chad, which is Agent OS and Free Claude Code. Where should they live? So currently on his Mac Mini, he already has Hermes, OpenClaw, Paperclip, Obsidian installed. And he wasn't sure, like, do you set this up on a VPS or do you run it locally? So for me personally, I run Agent OS locally. I just think it's like better to run it locally than to give it access to your phone or something like that. And if you look at all the problems that OpenClaw had previously, they all pretty much came from running it on a VPS, right? All the issues that come with a VPS. So I think like it's better, and also it's fastest, it's private. You can set up free APIs with it as well. So that's what I recommend for most people. I know like people worry, okay, maybe I don't have enough RAM or something like that to run this stuff, but this is pretty lightweight. If you're running an agent operating system, Hermes is super lightweight, Claude is lightweight. Like these are all things that can run on a basic laptop. You don't even need a Mac Mini. And then also the only reason that I would see to use a VPS is if you want agent operating system like accessible from your phone or whatever. But I do think that's you got to be careful with doing that, right? You don't want to give anyone access that shouldn't have access to your AI agents. And some people do set it up on a VPS like John did here. So if you do want to do that, I'll link to this tutorial right here. Next up, this is pretty cool. This is what I like to see actually. So Dan was posting about making a UI adjustment for the agent operating system, where basically it's just like easier to navigate, which I really like. So let's take a look at this. Basically, what he's done is changed the style. So this is my version originally over here, and then this is his version. And he actually has his workspaces and the most important stuff at the top, and then the builders at the bottom. And I think that's pretty cool because if you're using these workflows over here all the time, they're probably more important than having your CLIs on the left hand side. So, however you want to organize it, you can. But I do like the fact that if you use an agent operating system, like we give away the zip file inside the agent operating inside the agent AI Profit Boardroom. The great thing about that is you can customize it however you want, which I think is fantastic. I've seen people like, for example, build their own uh, philosophy systems and all sorts of crazy like stuff for personal use when it comes to AI. And they've taken the agent operating system and then tweaked it exactly how they want it in terms of the vibe, the feel, the colors, even and that sort of thing. And this kind of builds on that. So Dan was also posting about like how to build your own stuff into Agent OS. So typically, the latest things that come out, like for example, Kimi Code and Kimi Fast Mode, just dropped recently, and we've already built that into our agent operating system. But he was talking about like you can add little widgets inside here or little tools and that sort of thing, and also adding like a save button. So that if you update your agent operating system from one version to another, then you've got this save option where you can come back and keep everything persistent. And the way that I look at this is like the agent operating system, it isn't a fixed app. It's like it's your dashboard. You can add lots of tools or skills. I literally added Grok build with a SEO funnel hive like earlier this week. And so if you use the tool every day, you can wire it in as a tab so it lives next to everything else. So it's like, okay, well, if we do a lot of SEO, let's plug in an SEO tab. If we do a lot of video, let's plug in a video tab, and just make it as useful and personalized to you as you can. That's how you get the most out of this stuff. Dan also shared another tip, which is basically saving chats into your vault, but also checking through the chats and deleting anything that's not useful, right? So if you're, for example, going back and forth in Hermes, but like some of those chats are not that useful or not that actionable, etc., or you don't need them anymore, you can always delete that stuff as well, which is I think that makes it more useful too. So that's a great tip as well. Just you can cut the noise, you can make sure the conversation only carries useful context and just clean up any sort of chats that you've had previously inside your agent operating system that are not actually useful. Another question we've got here, which is what AI agent should I go for with a Mac Mini M4? Okay. Basically, what local model would you use with a Mac Mini M4? Now, personally, I've got the Mac Studio. So we've got that on M4. You can see the details right here. So this is M4 Max that we've got with 35 gig of memory. Now, when I actually run local models, it's not good. Like I don't think local models are great from everything that I've tested personally. And for me, I literally test everything just to make sure like I'm not missing anything out. And from what I've seen, I just don't find local models that great. Now, you could use, for example, Gemma 4, but even Gemma 4 12B, which is supposed to be like a lightweight model that came out recently, even that is super slow, especially if I'm running it with a agent that's using a lot of tool calls. So for me personally, I don't find it that useful. But if it's a case of you're not worried about privacy, but you're worried about like, okay, resources or tokens, then instead, what I would recommend is you just get free API, right? So you can plug in like frontier models like Nematron 3 Ultra, or for example, Step 3.7 Flash, or OWL Alpha or N2 into your system. These are all free APIs you can get, and they are free, but they run in the cloud, so they're a lot faster when, especially if you're running agents. So again, I just don't recommend local models. One day it'll get better. Right now, not very good. One sec. This is a good question from Mika. So Mika was saying, hey guys, what's the protocol for Hermes desktop? He downloaded it, didn't respond, slowed the computer to a snail's pace, and got like the spinning beach ball icon on Mac. So do you need to have a Claude subscription as well? How does it work? Well, the thing that I've seen with Hermes desktop is like just not as useful as it could be, right? And that's why we built the agent operating system, especially because like you might be using Claude, you might be using Hermes, but Hermes desktop is cool, great idea, but it's not that useful if you're using like multiple agents to build stuff. And most people are using like a combination of Claude and Hermes from what I've seen everyone do. So this is why I use the agent operating system instead of Hermes desktop, because it's just a bit messy on the integration. Like for example, we can use Hermes with voice inside the agent operating system, but for me personally, when I set it up on desktop, it just didn't work at all. So that's something to bear in mind. And so the way that I would look at this instead is like use the agent operating system. Desktop is definitely better than terminal, but at the same time, it's not that clean. So that's why I prefer the agent operating system. And it actually shows Claude or Hermes, however you want to install it, how to make sure it syncs properly with your agents. You could, but if you're really insistent on using Hermes desktop for anyone watching, then you could actually ask Claude, okay, listen, I've got Hermes set up, I've got Hermes desktop set up. Right now they're not synced. And then just ask it to sync them. And just make sure that you have the GitHub and the documentation plugged into Claude so that it understands exactly how to implement that. Good question on how to install OS, Agent OS on Hostinger, right? Can you use it on a VPS? So we actually have a full tutorial on how to do that. For me personally, I don't like to run it in a VPS like I mentioned. But if you want to, we have a full tutorial inside the Profitable on how to do that. Maverick is asking, how to use agent operating system for SEO, right? How to use it for creating content better. So the way that I do this, if you want web search enabled, you can just give that to your AI agents. So you can give access to Firecrawl API, and that can search the web for you if you want to. Or you can use Olama, and that can give you web search too. Now, for me personally, what I do is I use the SEO section. So we have a full section inside there. And that way I can just give it a keyword, give it a case study, and it will auto deploy that content to my website. Next question from Philip. Has anyone automated dispatch, estimating, and collections? Right. So can you basically use agents and sync them with the outside world or sync them with a CRM or that sort of thing? So it's very unique. I think I've never really seen this before, but I think you could get Claude or Hermes to build it in for you. This is not like a off the shelf thing, but this is like a custom agent that you could build, right? So it could do dispatch, estimate, collections. These are repetitive rules. And so you could describe the workflow that you want to Claude or Hermes and then let it build the agent into all the workflow into the agent operating system. So, for example, when I was creating the video agent over here, I would just give it the idea on the workflow, and then Claude would do all the rest in terms of building it into the system so that we could come back to it and use it later. So that's the way that I recommend it. So what I recommend is you describe the workflow that you want to Claude, ask it to build that into the agent operating system, and then it will ask you for certain webhooks or for certain API access to your CRM, and you can just build it in from there. Obviously, this is a completely custom agent, customized to your business, but that's the way I would approach it. It's the same thing that I did when it came to automating SEO and also videos is we used the systems and the workflows built into the Agent OS system. And again, like the Agent OS is completely customizable. So if you need to add more stuff inside it, or you need to add your own workflows inside it, like you can do that, right? It's no problem. Claude can easily handle that. And also the cool thing is if you spot any like issues with the Agent OS, you can just post it like Mike did here, and then we'll just fix it for you and post the update as well. So you get new daily updates based on what drops and what we need to fix as well, which is pretty good. So that's basically it. That's all the questions covered. We've answered every question about the Agent OS, the multi-agents, the Hive, the SEO automations. If you want to get all of this, you can get it inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Link in the comments description, or go to the aiprofitboarding.com. If you go to the classroom over here, you can get the Agent OS system that we've built. You could build your own, but if you want to get mine and my setup, you can see it was updated today, just now. We've got the new zip file right there with all the new stuff we've added to it. You can post questions like we've talked about today, and then I'll answer them personally. And you also get help from the community as well, which is super useful. And then you also get a community of 3,600 members. So there's a lot of great people to like connect with, make new friends, etc. Inside the map, you can meet people in your local city who are using AI agents just like you. And then inside the classroom, you get access to all of my new trainings, like you can see, plus the whole Agent OS system, which you can see right here. And every day we just improve this and add new features and make it better and better based on what's released. And also the great thing about this is like, you'll never feel behind because every new thing, we're on top of it. I'm on top of it personally. And then what I do is I build it into the system. So you don't even need to worry about keeping up with the latest updates because we add new updates inside the system. And then you never feel overwhelmed or have to worry about it because we add this in. And then also what we do is inside the Agent OS zip file, we actually add a change log. So you can see like everything that we've built in, everything that we've changed, and everything that we've done so far. So you can see like the progress of the project, which I think is a lot of fun as well. So thanks for watching. Hope to see you inside there. Cheers. Bye bye. Timmy, you're a legend. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. For sure. It's a good vibe. Nice. Belfast boy. Good to see you. Okay, that's great. Thanks for signing up to me. Appreciate you. This is from Suno using the music agent inside the agent OS. So we create like cool stuff with it and then we use that. No, just for like for our SEO agency, we just focus on websites. But we've got lots of training on that inside the airport for boarding. There is for that as well, but it doesn't. It's not like Perplexity Computer. It's just like the old version of Perplexity. I think if you've got Claude, you probably don't need it, but Grok Build is getting better. Yep, for sure. Like have backups, create multiple different, plug in multiple API keys into Hermes, and then it can use those as well. So they're built into each AI agent, but then you can control them. So, for example, if you want to change the settings on Hermes, what you can do is you just go to Hermes over here, go to the manage section, and then you can change all your different settings for Hermes right there. Thanks, Matt. I appreciate that. On a Windows, I don't think you are at a disadvantage without Omi because you don't need to use Omi. Like you can have your agents just build into the Obsidian memory, and like every conversation or everything that you do with your AI agents can just be built directly into Obsidian. For this, I would check it because if you actually scroll down, you'll see like the links to other people. So even if we've missed you, you'll see we've replied to everyone else, and that's handled now. Thanks so much for joining. Thanks so much. I appreciate that. Did you ever used to watch the program? Oh, amazing, mate. Absolutely amazing. Crazy program, but good. So what we did is we basically took the process that I was using inside Suno manually, and then just asked Claude like, "Can you build this in?" And it went from there and basically built in. So that's what I recommend. But obviously, if you've got the Agent OS from us, then you've got the latest update with that built in, so you don't need to worry about it. So Kimi K2.7 code is just released high speed. This is a brand new update from Kimi, and basically this is rolling out right now. It's up to 6 times faster. I actually tested it, and I tested it across the non-thicking and also the other version of Kimi K2.7 code just to see how it compares. And I'll show you what we learned today and what we've got so far. So this is basically how it works. And there's basically like three different versions of Kimi K2.7 code now, right? So there's three different gears. That's the way that I see it. It's one model, but three different ways to run it. So before this, Kimi K2.7 is one coding model. What changes now is which lane you use. So you've got the quality mode model, which is Kimi for coding, and that's like the full model with thinking mode on. It works like the problem out first, then writes it, and that's the careful one. That's not the new update. I mean, it came out 2 days ago, but it's not the new update. Then you have fast mode, which is the high speed lane, which is a faster way to serve the same model, but with thinking mode on. And then you actually have thinking mode off, which is super high speed, right? But the only problem is like the think out loud sort of steps are switched off, so it answers straight and answers quickly, but it's not as good. But let's see what the outputs are. So we've actually got some tests here in terms of side by side what we got using the same sort of prompt, right? So this was the prompt, which was build a 3D solar system, the sun plus all 8 planets orbiting at different speeds with small labels. And you can see the outputs here. So this is like the normal sort of quality model. And then this is the fast mode with thinking mode on. And then this is no think. Now we actually compared the speeds of each response as well. So we measured those. We got 71 seconds to build this with quality and thinking mode. Then fast was 65 seconds, and then no think fast was 47 seconds. So it's almost 2 times faster than the quality mode. And again, like it depends what you build, but it can be up to 6 times faster. Having said that, if you look at this, they kind of look similar, but the way that they're built looks slightly different. There's not a huge difference between each of them. Maybe someone who's like a bit more science minded would be able to judge on that, to be honest. But let's have a look on the next one. So the next one, we gave it a complete playable game. Again, tested no think versus fast versus quality. So if we actually look at the speed, the quality responded way faster to build it out, which is weird. So this took 125 seconds with no think, which is kind of weird. So sometimes it's like actually slower using the no think, which I don't understand how that's happened, but it did. We measured this directly. So these are the games that we built, as you can see right here, and they're all pretty much the same. But that was interesting too. Now, all three are genuinely playable. But Fast and Nothing both wrapped the playfield in a 3D framed border, which adds more depth. So you can see the 3D border over here. I think that's why it was a bit slower to respond, which is quite interesting. So it's not always faster, basically. That's the whole point here. And then it really does depend on what you build. We also created a spiral galaxy here. And I actually think like if I look at these, fast mode with no think created like the nicest version, right? Like that looks the nicest out of all of these. If I had to pick one, I'd go with that one. So sometimes no think as well, it can reply faster, so 39 seconds versus 98 seconds for the normal mode, but it creates something better as well. It's really, really mixed. Depends what you're building and that sort of thing. But I've not seen like a 6x speed increase is unless you're using like a super basic question. If you look at this 98 seconds versus 53 seconds versus 39 seconds here. So those were 3 tests that we ran with this. Now you might wonder, okay, like what actually happens under the hood? You know, what's going on here? How does it work? So the way that we've set this up, you can use this however you want, but the way that I've built with this is we've got Kimi code here, and then we can switch between quality, fast, and no think. So these are basically toggles that we can click between them, and then we can use the agent here. So if we say, okay, you're here inside the chat, Kimi is thinking, and this is like the normal mode. If we use fast mode, it should be a lot faster to reply. And then if we use no think, that should be even faster. So that's how you can switch. And also it replies like slightly differently on no think versus fast and thinking mode. So those are like the same 2 replies with thinking and thinking fast mode. So here's how it works. You got like one prompt. It's going to think first with the quality mode, then it's got standard lane, then it's going to build. With fast mode, it thinks, high speed lane, and then it builds. And these 2 think, as you can see. And then with no think, it doesn't think at all. Reasons just inline when it's coming up with the answer. Builds at high speed and then builds. So you got like different switches depending on what you want. So quality and fast both think first. They just run on different lanes. Now you might think, okay, what's the difference here? So thinking on versus thinking off. So we're thinking on an AI model, and this is useful for like understanding how any AI model works. But basically, we're thinking on the model works the problem out on a hidden scratch pad first, plans the layout, the physics, the maths, then writes the code. We're thinking off, there's no scratch pad. So it just starts writing straight away. Now, off does not mean it skips the thinking. The reasoning just moves into the answer itself. And that's what usually costs time. Now, with high speed, it's a faster way to serve the exact same model. So Moonshot quotes around 180 tokens a second, up to 260 tokens on short jobs, which means like you just get the response way faster. So it's the same brain, the same training, just push for a faster pipe. You can see the differences right here. And you can see the median build time across all of our builds. So the 3 tests that I show you, 47 seconds versus 65 versus 85. So on the tests that I've seen, it's about half the time to get a response from nothink. But also with fast mode as well, it swings like really wildly. So you can see the difference here. This is fast mode, and it can take anywhere between like 47 seconds and 188 seconds to reply. And the way that I would look at this is like there's no best gear, so to speak. So there's the right gear for the job, which is the whole point of the framework. So, for example, if you are using really fast mode, this is just for like quick jobs, throwaway tests, simple utilities where the polish doesn't matter. Then you've got fast mode, which is great for like iterating, I would say, and like just improving the projects you already built. And then you've got, for example, the builds that really matter, or like just building something from scratch. And that's where I'd use the quality mode. And like it can build pretty cool stuff. So if we have a look, for example, this was some stuff that we built with Kimi K2.7 using the quality mode. So it can like create videos, as you can see here, create avatar videos. It can, for example, create games, all sorts of cool stuff here. It even built out like a full world game here. So if we have a look at this, this was like a full open world game that we built using Kimi K2.7. And then we also created this one too, which is pretty fun to play. So this is another example of like what we've built with Kimi K2.7. So far it's pretty good. The fast mode again, I would just use it for like super quick answers or just improving what you already got. I wouldn't use it as a default. Some people say, well, faster code means worse code, but you've already seen like some of the projects we built with fast mode are actually better. So that's basically it. Now, if you want the whole system that we've built out for using Kimi K2.7, which you can see here, so we've got Kimi code built into this agent operating system. It's using the CLI. So you've got quality, fast, and no think that you can switch between. You've got all your agents inside one mission control. You can use Hermes and Claude and whatever you want to build with over here. You even got free Claude code built in and Grok build and Fusion, which is a way to achieve like Fable 5 level intelligence without having access to Fable 5. So you can get that all inside the Agent OS system, which you've got inside the AI Profit Boardroom. So if you check it out, link in the comments description, or go to the aiprofitboardroom.com. And then you go to the classroom here, new daily updates. You'll find the Agent OS system with the last update here. We have a full tutorial and roadmap on how to use Kimi K2.7. GLM 5.2 is a good option too. And we basically show you everything that you need to learn about AI automation, right? Now you can ask questions inside here. You can go inside the classroom, get all of our best trainings. You can jump on weekly coaching calls. You can meet people in your local area as well who are using AI agents like you. And this is all inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Link in the comments description, or go to the aiprofitboardroom.com. Thanks for watching. See what questions we've got here, Matt. So Obsidian is the memory inside the Agent OS, but I see you doing most of the heavy lifting for it. No, so the way that I do this is like if I'm building more features into Agent OS, then I'll use Claude. Otherwise, like if I was using the system to build the system, like it would just break on the spot, if that makes sense. So that's why we use for the back end of Agent OS, we use Claude. And also like Claude is the best coder. And then for the memory system, like even my Claude desktop uses Obsidian memory. You're a workhorse, Julian. Love it, man. Oh, thanks so much. I appreciate that. Thanks, Timmy. For this, would recommend Apify. Apify is the most powerful I've seen. Yeah, you can. So what you do is you just go into Claude inside the chat and you just say, okay, like link to my Obsidian memory or use my Obsidian memory for coming up with ideas. Or like you can even say, for example, okay, for every conversation that we have, log that all the daily notes into my Obsidian memory. The other one you can do is like you can say, okay, well, at the end of each day or every morning, consolidate everything that we've done and plug that into Obsidian as well locally too. Right. So you could go inside the chat here and you could say, okay, every morning, update and consolidate everything that we've done together for the day inside my Obsidian vault locally so that we've got a full log daily of everything we've done together. And then basically that will plug it into Obsidian locally for you. You can also get Obsidian to organize everything. So if you want like something super neat based on everything it knows about you, you can ask it to do that inside Obsidian. You literally just ask it in plain text and it will do it for you. So you can see here that it will do that directly. Yeah, so to automate it, you would just say like every morning or do this on a schedule, and then you can set up a routine using Claude Desktop. So that's the way I would approach it. Happy to help, Matt. Thanks. Let's just check that it's doing that. Yeah, we can come back to that later. If I don't come back to it, just drop me a reminder. So Hermes agent now supports asynchronous sub agents. To get this, this means that basically Hermes now has a delegate tool. And so you can use that to spawn sub agents. And I'll show you some examples plus how to use it today. First thing you want to do is just make sure you update Hermes. So you can go inside your terminal and then just type Hermes update, or you can go inside your dashboard for Hermes and just click the update button. And then from there, what it's going to do is basically when you've got a task and you say, okay, create some sub agents for this task, it's going to use a new tool called the delegate tool. And that can create multiple different agents at once. So let me show you an example of how that would look. So you could say, okay, run an SEO funnel for how to build an AI agent. And then you've got multiple workers working together, like you can see here. And those workers work to create something awesome. And I'll show you an example of where we've used that for SEO actually in a second. And the great thing about this is like the old way is it would freeze your chat. The new way is like this is running in the background and then you dispatch the workers and they just run, right? So the old like delegate call would block your chat until the task was finished. With background equals true, this hands control back to you in 2 milliseconds. So the work runs for you in the background. So here's an example. We could give our Hermes agent one keyword, and then we could have a hive of AI agents working in parallel on 5 different articles, for example. Then we could have a deploy worker that actually deploys the content, and we get that live to our website. Right? So you can see an example here of how we've deployed, just as a total example, we've got 5 different agents who work as sub agents to create 5 different articles on our website and deploy them. And so what this means is like, number one, you can use the chat whilst you've got agents working in the background with Hermes. And then number two, these can actually complete real world tasks in the background, like actually creating blog posts, something a lot of business owners use. And you can see that was all fully done and automated using this sub agent process. So it's pretty powerful, quite easy to set up. And this is just something that got released this morning. We've already set up today. So I know if we can do it, you can do it too. And you can even get, for example, Hermes to set up for you, or you can get Claude to plug it in. What we've actually done is inside our agent operating system, we have multiple different agent profiles. And then if we give it a task for sub agents, it can just go off and build those in the background, which is great as well. Okay? And again, if you want to manage an update to the latest version, you would just update over here. And then if you want to manage the profiles for different agents like we've set up, you can manage that over here. Right? But basically, these sub agents are like kind of temporary agents that work at one time. So this is how it works. Let's say, for example, you've got a lead Hermes agent here, which is the main chat, the main profile you're using. That's going to send out workers and they all go off and do stuff at the same time. And that's how we created that example. Then it's going to give you the results and that goes back into your chat. So you can have a lead agent, you hand it one goal, for example, like run the funnel for this keyword, and it decides the fan out. It never does the work itself. So as an example of this, you can see these agents are just working in the background with 5 different workers when we give it a task. So it's using delegate task, background true, and these all just get dispatched in the background. And then you've got the workers. So you've got one background sub agent per job, each dispatched in 2 milliseconds using the delegate task tool. And each runs its own thread with its own goal and context. They all work at the same time, which is great. And they're off to the side of your chat. Kind of like how Claude, if you ever use Claude Code, this is how it works as well. It's a similar way. And that means you can keep planning, you can keep chatting with your agent and start the next keyword. And so as each worker finishes, it results back and re-enters your chat as a new turn, self-contained. And then this can all live inside your Hermes agent. So this can all live inside a Hermes chat here. We can give it a task. So for example, we could say, okay, delegate a keyword research task to 5 sub-agents working in the background, and Hermes can just go off and implement that for us. Now, also, the other thing to note here is they don't finish together. So each result flies back in the moment it's done, re-enter in your chat. So you could have like one worker that finishes first, then another worker finishes later, or two finish at the same time, etc. And so if you look at like the old way of doing this, you've got one at a time, right? Each article would wait for the last, and that would be a very long morning. Whereas with this, you got a Hive and all 5 start at the same time. Same 5 articles, they all queue together and they're just running in the background. That's how it can work. So like the old way would be like writing one article, waiting for the next one, checking it. Each article blocks the next one, or each task blocks the next one. You have to sort of sit and watch as the chat is frozen. Whereas the new way is like you've got one command, you've got 5 workers working at once, they all write the articles, you walk away, everything comes back on its own, and the result is a whole funnel that gets built whilst you're doing something else. So the cool thing about this is like before people were like, well, if I'm not watching each step, it will go off the rails, etc. So each worker gets one tight goal in its own context, and every result flies back for you to check, right? You're basically the lead, you set the jobs, and then you walk away. Also, other people say, well, running agents in parallel sounds like chaos, but it rides the same rails as like a background terminal job. Other people say, well, this is only for coders, but you can speak to it in plain English, and then it will just go off and build stuff. So just to recap, you learned how to stop, waiting, and watching. Dispatch is 2 milliseconds, so the work just runs whilst you keep going. You stop babysitting the funnel. You shipped everything in parallel. You collect. You don't have to chase things up, so it comes back to you inside the chat. And you don't have to just do this for SEO. This is just an example, and it's one command. So Hermes update, and then give it a goal, and it will delegate stuff to you. It's kind of similar to if, for example, you ever seen Ultracode with Claude, where it has the main orchestrator, and then you have agents working on different tasks based on that one big goal. Basically, you're just delegating everything to your Hermes agents in the background. But also, the cool thing about this is you could have, like, for example, an agent with a different API working in the background. And if it's just like a menial task or an admin task that's working for one sub agent, then you could use a cheaper API, or you could use a free one, you could use a local one, etc., and it would still work. So that's basically it. Now, if you want your agents to multiply your output, not just be one more tool, grab the agent operating system inside the AI Profit One. It turns Hermes, Grok Build, Claude, GLM, and Kimi into one system with shared memory and one dashboard. Every new feature, for example, like asynchronous sub-agents, makes the whole thing more powerful automatically. And inside the AI Profit Boardroom, link in the comments description, or go to the AIProfitBoardroom.com, you get the full agent operating system. You get the Obsidian memory setup, coaching calls where we build live together, a 30-day roadmap, daily tutorials, member map, and 24/7 community. And you might think, well, this is Awesome for you, Julian. But what about if you don't have time? Well, we've actually had so many people building out their own agent operating systems using our setup that I know that if it works for them and if it works for me and none of us are coders, then we can all get great results of this. So it's definitely worth checking out. So I hope to see you inside there. Also answer questions inside the community. You can ask questions yourself as well inside here. Inside the classroom, you get access to all of our best trainings and the new daily agent operating system. Inside the calendar, you can actually jump on weekly coaching calls. You additionally get a map so you can meet people in your local area using AI agents like you. And this is all inside the AI Profit Boarding. Thanks for watching. Kimi is useless. Claude is better. Brutal. So here's the way that I look at it, right? It's like Kimi K2.7, and this is something that I think is genuinely useful, is that if we look at, for example, Kimi K2.7, we've actually tested it versus Claude Opus. So if we have a look here, side by side, this is what Kimi created, as you can see. And then this is what Claude created, right? And Claude's is way more basic. Additionally, we did the same test over here, but I think out of all of them, and I've tested this side by side. I've already done a tutorial on it. Out of all of them, GLM 5.2 was the best so far. So if you're going to pick one, go with GLM 5.2. If you want something like really smooth and very reliable, then of course go with Claude. But I like to just test them out and see which ones perform and what we can get out of it and that sort of thing. And it's quite fun to build with all of this sort of stuff. But yeah, do I think like Kimi is replacing Claude anytime soon? No. But is it useful and can it build cool stuff? Absolutely. So, how do you get Fable 5 level intelligence without Fable 5 itself? Obviously, Fable 5 has been taken down, nobody can use it. But what can you do in the meantime whilst you wait for it to come back up? Well, Kilo Code actually created a recent case study like you see here, and I've actually implemented the model, and I'll show you what we found today, where basically if you have a combination of different models planning, then you'll get better outputs and you can get better intelligence side by side. So let's test it out and see. And the thing that I would say with all of this, we saw this with Fusion as well that came out from OpenRouter recently, is like you can try it and just see what you think. Like I wouldn't pay too much attention to benchmarks. I would just test out yourself. I'll show you what we tested so far. And so the context here is like Fable 5 was, the most powerful AI ever made public. And then it was shut down worldwide 3 days after launch. Now, Kilo, according to their research, tried to prove something, which is if you hand a cheaper model a good plan, it can build the exact same thing that Fable 5 would, identical, but it requires less tokens or it requires less powerful models to actually get the most out of it. Again, this isn't my theory. This is the Kilo team that ran the test and published it. So they had 2 frontier models plan the same service. Then they made both build the winning plan from identical starts. And this is the key point, is all in the planning according to this. So Fable 5, the most powerful model ever made public, 80% on Bench Pro, and a cheap model produced services that were identical down to which individual users 35% rollout enabled, both passing 15 checks, right? The only difference here was the amount of tokens and the costs. So, according to the Kilo blog, planning with Claude Fable 5 and implementing with GPT 5.5 produce the same service for 59% less than using Claude Fable for both phases. So, you can get a great plan and then plug it into your system, according to this. So, you get like the identical output, but 62% less to build. Across a full plan and build pipeline, that's 59% cheaper, which is a 2.4x gap that scales to roughly, as you can imagine, quite a lot. So the plan quality, where does the intelligence actually live? And you can see the details here. So they've actually created this blog on you don't have to use Fable and Mythos to work on the frontier. So basically what you can have is one plan in and then you get identical builds out. Okay? And this is what Kilo are trying to prove. So they gave the same plan to two different models, both passed all 15 acceptance checks, and then the two services were identical. Okay? So you got the planner, which is like, that's where you use a frontier model. The plan decides all, and then the agents actually build. So you can use cheaper agents for building to get identical outputs. Now, why does this work? Well, basically, the model stops mattering as much when you have a more pinned plan. So a vague plan would leave forks open. So each model would guess, two models build two different apps, a pinned plan decides every fork, and so there's nothing left to guess with a pinned plan. So any model can land on the exact same build, right? Vague plan, any model, the output differs. Pinned plan, which decides every fork, any model, same app, which is pretty crazy. Now, it wouldn't be like any model, but you get the point. Like you could use something less powerful or something cheaper, and then you can build it out better. Now, there's three different moves here. So the smart model would write the plan, you switch the model in a click, and then the cheap model would build it. And then you can have review agents like check it for bugs and security and that sort of thing. So you got the plan, the build, review agents, the check for security or logic and that sort of thing, and then it is shipped. And so if you look at this, you got the old way and the new way, where, for example, if you plan and build with the best models, that would use up more tokens. If you use the new way, you got plan, and then you can build with a cheaper model, and that would be more efficient, 59% less on some of the tests. And also, if one model gets taken down, like Fable 5, it's okay. You can route the plan that you saved to model B. And so the plan survives. You just swap builder, and then you don't have to worry about using one model again. Now, also, the other thing about this is that a good plan is a reusable asset, right? So you could write it once and then fan it out to as many like cheaper models as you wanted to, build in variations. So you could have one plan that's reusable and then build it with multiple different models and just see which one creates the best. Now, you can do this inside Kilo. Here's an example of how that would work. So you could say, okay, Opus 4.8, write a very detailed plan, and then the builders build it with a cheaper model, for example, like Kimi K2.7. And you might say, well, won't like the worst model mess up the build? If the plan has already made every decision guessing where builds go wrong, and a complete plan leaving nothing to guess, will both models build the exact same plan and would pass all 15 checks, according to this research. So, for example, for actually building, you could use a free model like Nematron 3 Ultra, or a cheaper model like Minimax M3 to actually build it out, and then use a frontier model for actually creating the plan. So, the old way would be like, for example, you point every job at the most powerful model, then using the frontier token costs associated with that. And also, as you scale up, well, it would use more and more tokens. Whereas a new way is like the Genius AI model that you want to use, plans it, and then cheaper models build it with the identical output. If a model gets removed, like Fable 5, you swap the builder and keep moving. You use less tokens overall. And also, the plan is a reusable asset, so you can build from it forever. And also, as you scale, you'd have less tokens used. Now, some people say, well, the best model should do everything. But the best model is great for judgment. It doesn't necessarily need to do everything for you, especially if you've got like a fail safe plan that can go off and build stuff. Other people say, well, I need to wait until one model clearly wins. But Fable 5 was the best and then it got removed. And other people say, well, this sounds technical. So you can do it with like two prompts inside Kilo, but you could also build, like, for example, a skill around that inside Claude. That would be quite interesting too. So you could say to Claude, okay, use this model for actually creating the build, and then use your most powerful model for creating the plan. So just to recap, you learned how to potentially, and again, just test it yourself, but potentially get a frontier model to plan, and then a cheaper model to build or a free model to build. So you keep the same quality, but you use less tokens. You can also run it in one tool with Kilo, but you can basically use the most powerful model for the plan and then build it for free with a free API or free model. And as an example of that, like, you might be wondering, okay, what free models are there? So, for example, N2, Nematron 3 Ultra, you got local models, you have free APIs like our Alpha as well. You could just test yourself, see which one works the best for you. So if you want the whole system that we use for building stuff, you can get that inside the AI Profit Boarding. We have a full agent operating system, like you can see here, for implementing all of our AI agents working together. The great thing about that is, for example, if we're using Hermes, we could use a really powerful model for planning, and then that can delegate to sub-agents. The same with Claude, the same with, for example, Fusion is a great example of this. So this is another API that claims to get Fable level intelligence by having multiple agents basically come up with the plan or the outputs, then a judge actually fuses it together, and then you get one answer together. So that's another alternative as well, which is Fusion, where you use multiple models. So you could have like Opus and Gemini and Grok working together. And then that creates, on benchmarks, according to them, again, just test it yourself, but on benchmarks, it would potentially hit, the same sort of benchmarks that you get with a frontier level model. So thanks so much for watching. If you want to get all of my best trainings on this sort of stuff, if you want to get my agent operating system, you can get that inside the AI Profit Room. You can post questions inside the community. I personally answer them. So does everyone else inside the community. Inside the classroom, you can get access to all my best trainings. So we have a complete beginner to expert course here. And we also have new daily updates, like you can see if you like the advanced stuff. We've actually got a whole section on Fusion and how to use it and get the best outputs from it to achieve potentially Fable 5 level intelligence. And then also we have the agent operating system that we update daily, and you can get the zip file inside here too. We also have a calendar here where you can jump on weekly coaching calls, ask questions, share your screen, meet cool people, building similar stuff. Inside the map, you can meet people in your local area who are using AI agents like you. And this is all available inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Link in the comments description, or go to the AIprofitboardroom.com. Thanks for watching. Le Chaton Fat, a new model from Mistral that is outperforming Fable 5 on every benchmark. If you haven't seen this, it's pretty funny. Basically, what we've got here is, and I think some people actually genuinely believe this is real. So, this is an announcement which you can see right here of the Le Chaton Fat, a French model from Mistral. With a 30 trillion parameter frontier model built for long horizon reasoning, coding, and agentic work. Now, this is basically a big joke that's totally fake, but you might have seen it. And basically, it scored higher than Claude Fable 5 on every single test. It has 30 trillion parameters, 1 million token memory, runs faster than anything Mistral has ever built. And here's the part that matters for you: none of it is real, not one number, but it's going viral across the web right now. And thousands of people have been sharing this test. So if you ever looked at a chart showing one AI beating another and thought, well, the numbers don't lie, I've got some bad news for you. Sometimes the numbers lie, and this French cat just proved it to the world. Um, so basically, this is kind of like a joke based on all the Fusion 5 intelligent tests that are coming out. Not Fusion 5, Claude Fable 5. So there's a few things that have come out where basically people have said this is how you can achieve Fable 5 level intelligence, even though Fable 5 has been shut down. So, for example, there was a Fusion model that came out recently, and there was also the research from Kilo Code and a bunch of other stuff, basically talking about like how you can reach Fable 5 level intelligence with different methods. Now, it's a pretty funny joke, but basically, this is one thing you need to pay attention to, which is like, a lot of AI companies are releasing their own sort of benchmarks and tests and that sort of thing. And I think this is a great example of like how you can't rely on the benchmarks. Like for me, I just test everything myself. And what happened here is like basically a joke chart went viral. People shared it's real, and it gets debunked when it's too late. So you can see another example right here. And obviously, like some people are joking here, some people are not. It's kind of hard to tell the difference. Someone actually posted it on a recent video that I did to check this out, but it just totally goes off the charts. So you might think, okay, why does this matter to you? Why talk about this French cat at all? Because this is something that I see like day to day. It's like a lot of people look at benchmarks, but benchmarks are just tests. So you can give a bunch of AI models the same set of questions, you score them, and the one with the highest wins, right? Which is simple. But the problem is like a lot of the time with these benchmarks that are coming out all the time, the company that made the AI runs the test on its own model. They pick which test, they pick which other models to compare against, they pick which numbers to show you. And it's kind of like someone just grading their own homework and then bragging about the A they scored. Now, with stuff like Fusion or the Kilo Code research, I think there's a lot of truth behind it. Like it's worth checking out, but it's just something to be aware of. It's like sometimes you're going to see benchmarks like this. They look official. There's no referee. They're cherry pick tests, and they take like 5 minutes to work as well. And I think the Le Chaton fat joke took this to the extreme because someone just typed numbers into a chart. There was no model, no test. It was just kind of like a joke that a lot of smart people actually fell for, from what I saw. So, for example, like the 30 trillion parameter model, what they've just made, etc. You can see some of the tweets that are coming out from it. But I think there's a story in this which is just like pay attention to what you're learning from. Test all this stuff out yourself. Don't believe everything or the hype that you see out there. And for me, like you'll see inside every tutorial that I test things myself and I make sure that it's actually working and that it's actually reliable. Because if you don't, it's very easy to believe these benchmarks from fancy AI companies and not really know if it's legit or not. So how should you do this? Well, I think your own work is the only benchmark, right? A real email, real blog post, a real customer question, because that's the stuff that you're doing day to day with AI automation. Right? So, for example, a real task like could be an email, blog post, etc. Run the tool on it, judge the output yourself. Did it? Is it good? One thing that we never really look at with benchmarks is like, did it save you time? Would you actually use this day to day? Like that's something to be aware of. And would you keep it or drop it? So, for example, if you look at the agent operating system that we have, we actually use this for real workflows. So if you look at this system here, we deploy SEO content to our websites using this tool. We just plug in a keyword and a case study. We use it every day. Now, for me, this isn't about benchmarks. It's just about making sure that we automate the actual processes that we have. The other thing I would say here is like, there's so much going on, there's so much noise with AI and the new releases that come out that it's very difficult to actually research each of the new updates and validate if they're real or not. So the way that I look at this, because you might be feeling overwhelmed too, the way that I look at this is like, okay, what's one thing that you can focus on this week and automate? You don't want to be automating everything. You don't want to be trying every single model. What you want to do is just focus on one thing, build on that. Because if you do that every week, that's like 50 new automations you create per year. And it doesn't matter about the benchmarks or the models or what comes out, what gets taken down. You actually build something useful and you get the most out of this stuff. And it doesn't really matter about the benchmarks because many all of these models can achieve it, right? Like for example, even if we were using Kimi Code or GLM 5.2, if we're using Grok Build, like there's no wrong answers here. There are some models that are better than others, but at the same time, do you need the best, most overpowered AI for everything you do? Probably not. Let me give you an example here. So we use like quite often we'll use free APIs for SEO content, or for example, free models on news research with Hermes, and you can see the results of like these websites. Like they're growing in traffic. It doesn't really matter which model we use; we still get the job done. And so if you're looking to test all of these models, or if you're looking at these benchmarks and thinking like, "Wow, this is amazing," actually, I think you're looking in the wrong direction. So the old way is like chasing charts, reading the announcements, looking at charts, believing the charts, getting the thing, repeating that every week, and then feeling behind. That's the old way. But the new way is like it's your own work. So you ignore the charts, you stick with one tool, for example, like Claude or Hermes. You give it your actual job, look at what it gives back, and then keep what helps, and just drop the rest. So you give it a task, run the tool, judge the output, keep or drop. And it doesn't even matter if like a model scores 90% on the maths test. You're not running maths tests. You're running a business, most of you. So that's the way that I would look at it. And I'll give you a real example. Let's say, for example, you run an e-commerce store and you just getting overwhelmed with customer emails. Honestly, do you care if like some AI wants some chart, or do you care about whether it can answer "Where's my order" in your voice fast without making stuff up? That's usually the test. So you want to run it, just watch it, and trust what you actually get, your own work and your own eyes, over any benchmark. And that's the whole game here. And it's actually freeing once you understand that because you stop chasing the hype, you stop feeling behind, you just test things on your own work and then keep what helps. So, three things to take away here. A chart is not proof. A chart is a picture, and anyone can make it. Um, the Le Chaton that had a beautiful chart and didn't exist. And when a tool wins at everything, I just take that with a pinch of salt. And your own work is the only benchmark you need, right? Stop reading scores, start running tests on your real tasks. If it helps you, keep it. If it doesn't, drop it. And the funny thing about this was like it was a joke, but it told the truth. It showed everyone how easy it is to fake the benchmarks and how many smart people will believe a number just because it's sitting inside a nice chart. So, the next time you see like this new AI crushes everything, I would take a breath, smile, and I know like probably you see some of my content and you think, like you might think that as well, but I would just again test this stuff out yourself and focus on just one automation per week. That's how you stay ahead. Not by trusting the charts, but by trusting what you see with your own eyes and your own work. So that is the real lesson hiding inside a joke about a cat. Now it is yours. If this comes out, I'd be excited. It looks awesome. And you've got the CLI as well. We've got the new CLI coming out from La Choton Fat that is literally AGI, according to Alexander. So there we go. So thanks so much for watching. If you want to get all of my best trainings, I personally test this stuff so you don't have to. And then I tell you what's actually useful and what's not, and what my tests actually reveal. We've also built everything that's actually useful inside the agent operating system, which you get inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Link in the comments description, or go to the AIProfitboardroom.com. You can ask questions inside the community about actual useful stuff. You can jump inside the classroom, and we've got all of our best new systems inside here. If you're a complete beginner, you can go from beginner to expert over here. And if you want my new daily updates, well, we've got the agent operating system that we update daily, and you can get the zip file to install it too. And we've also got new trainings based on what's actually built. Again, like for Fusion, we tested it ourselves and we show the findings right here so that you can understand, okay, is it useful? Does it actually beat Fable 5? Should you use it in your business? When should you use it, etc.? And the same for all of these updates. Now, inside the calendar, you can also jump on weekly coaching calls, ask questions, share your screen, meet other people who are actually implementing this stuff inside their business. And inside the map, you can actually connect with people in your local area who are using AI agents like you. So feel free to get that. Link in the comments description, or go to the AIProfitboardroom.com. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye-bye. Yeah, 100%. I mean, Gemini 3.5 is already out, right? For Gemini 3.5 Flash, 3.5 Pro. I don't know, like it's one of those where it just changes week to week. But again, like I wouldn't chase the benchmarks. I wouldn't worry too much about Gemini 3.5 or Claude Fable or those sort of things. Most people are going to use it and not get the full power out of it either way. The way that I would look at it is like, what's actually useful for you, and then how can you automate that? And does it really matter what model you use? So, for example, I've seen like big companies use totally different models nobody else uses, because they know, okay, it doesn't really matter which model you use for a lot of this stuff if it's just basic day-to-day work. The main thing is, are you automating the stuff that's useful for you, and are you saving time? That's the way that I would look at it. All right. Thanks, everyone. Cheers for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.